And even me, right? Outside of Bitcoin, which is, I think, standalone as the leading monetary asset, when we get into this other space, I'm excited about what's happening on ETH. I'm excited about what's happening on Solana. I'm excited with the reinvigoration of XRP. I'm excited about what's happening on Avalanche and Aptos and Sui and Monad and Berachain and many other protocols, right? I'm excited about all of them. And I could try to throw a dart and hit the one that is going to emerge. But it's going to be hard to find that, and it may be many of them. And so if that's your point of view, if it's your mom, if it's me, if it's an endowment, I think many people share that point of view. And for them, an index-based solution is a really nice choice.
Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was Matt Hogan. He's the CIO at Bitwise. He was on Tony Edwards' Thinking Crypto channel. What a great interview that was. And yesterday, when everything was in double digits, it was the moment that everyone felt like they were a genius investor. In 2021, don't forget, it was Ripple's CTO David Schwartz that called the top. He did so within hours. So that is why I'm putting an extra set of eyes on his post right now. Vet tweeted out that Arthur Brito, the co-creator of the ledger, is transferring 80 million and 10 million XRP to Bitstamp to a hot wallet. That signals a sell. Legendary Dan Tapiero. Wow. He noticed that Brad Garlinghouse is plugged into DC along with XRP, the use case as a gas token for Futureverse, which is part of the Root network. He recognizes that, listen to this, survivors have value. And speaking of survivors, I hope this team can survive with eating so much McDonald's. I'm so surprised because I thought that they were really going to start going towards bringing that healthy diet into our ecosystem. I had to laugh. I think this is funny. I'm going to talk about a post that came from SBI, specifically Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao, who is the founder and CEO of the holding company located here in Japan. I want to tell you, though, in that backstory, that SBI shares fell 11% on the SEC lawsuit news when they went after Ripple in December 2020. His company is the largest outside shareholder of the company Ripple, and he was very excited to tell everyone that he thinks Ripple should start to prepare for an IPO if the SEC lawsuit gets out of the way. Yep, Mr. Kitao wants an exit, and he wants to do so for his shareholders. He mentions this as an end goal often in his investment relations presentations, and good on them. Finally, this looks possible soon. And somebody said it was very sad that influencers like myself are smart as a rock. Very sad. And a few people took this as a negative post. Are you kidding? This is a celebration. This is a celebration for Mr. Kitao and the shareholders. I think most people don't understand the purpose or goal of an IPO. It's for early shareholders. This is why people buy these pre-IPO shares, often in the form of a special purpose vehicle. It is the chance to buy at an early price before a public valuation and then to exit using public market liquidity. Ripple has provided some exit liquidity on their own in some buybacks over the past 2 years, and that was to ease the pain of waiting for so many of those early investors. Understand, Mr. Kitao and his shareholders are excited for a Ripple IPO because liquidity created through the public markets allows them to pay off their investment. What he said in this presentation was that after the current lawsuit, Ripple will go public. The current CEO wants to do this. Chris wants to do this, and added that the IPO would pay off the investment. He went on to say that they've been investing in fintech companies and will adopt that technology in our group. And also, we spread the technology across the industry, the SBI Group's basic strategy. And you can go and search through all the SBI exits, whether it was an IPO, an M&A, or a trade sale. There are many, not just 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, many. Attorney Matt Solomon, who defended Brett Garlinghouse, did so because it was a righteous case, he said. Mr. Solomon has won the Law 360 MVP 2024 award, and he had some really great advice to give attorneys who are seeking to have the same sort of career. And basically, in a nutshell, he says you must take ownership of the client as if it was your own. At the time of this recording, you can see the market is a little bit mixed. Bitcoin is slightly over 90,000. And there are a few, you can see in the dark green there, that are really hanging on to that momentum. Render is on a 7-day gain, 25% up. SWI is up 27%. Kronos is up 28%. Algorand up 30%. AIOZ 40% up on the 7-day. Flare up 42%. Dogecoin up 46%. Look at Hedera up 55%. And then, of course, you've got Stellar and XRP both up 84 and 85% respectively. Mantra up 128%. That's part of the Cosmos ecosystem, which Ripple is going to tap into with the help of Axelar. And then the very top on the 7-day, it's Peanut. The meme coin Peanut the Squirrel is up 1,569% at $1.57. Within the top 100 by market cap, when we look at that really shining top list of 20 on the 7-day, let's see, we've got 8 of those 20 are meme coins. So this is still very much a meme coin season. This is the current chart for XRP. You can see that it is really hanging on to that above the dollar mark and currently trading at $1.10. SWI is back on a tear in the last couple of hours. It's approaching $4, currently trading at $3.83. Of course, I'm curious to see how long Peanut will be able to keep up this momentum. And to take you out, I'm going to jump back to Thinking Crypto, the channel by Tony Edwards, because that Matt Hogan interview was fabulous. I've got another clip, so until next time, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
XRP is an asset that has sustained and proven itself over a long period of time. It has a very strong community and very strong technology underneath. From my point of view, we haven't seen what it can do because the company Ripple has been engaged in this difficult lawsuit with the SEC, which is sort of like trying to operate with 2 arms tied behind your back. Mm. I think if we fast forward a year into the future, if we get positive developments in that space, you'll see XRP unleashed. What can it do in the market? It's proven its technology. It has a unique approach to the market. It has a strong community behind it. It has liquidity. It has interest from traditional Wall Street firms. We saw that with SocGen, expanding their stablecoin onto the ledger earlier this week. I think it's a really interesting idea. Like, what can this asset do if it is unleashed? So that's sort of the investment thesis without going too deep into the ways it's sort of iterating and developing. And then, from a filing perspective, again, constrained with what I can say, but I've said this before every time we file, which is that Bitwise doesn't file for fun. We
Mm.
filed because we think there is a pathway to launch a product. We're not always right. We filed for a Bitcoin ETF for 5 years before we eventually got there. So take that with that grain of salt. But the reason we filed is because we thought there was a pathway to get it launched. Otherwise, we wouldn't have filed. And we're excited to continue to pursue that in 2025, particularly with the new administration. Yeah, I think the really incredible thing is I expect 2025 flows into Bitcoin ETFs to exceed 2024 flows. So as much as we've seen, I think it's really just a down payment on this market. If we fast forward a few years, I would not be surprised to see, Bitcoin ETFs owning, 10, 20% of the Bitcoin market. I certainly think that's within the realm of possibility down the road. It has been an incredible launch, the most successful ETF launch of all time. But it's still true that most traditional investors have not yet allocated. So I do think this is just a down payment, and people probably underestimate where we can go from here.